So let's see what we got. Same bands, obviously, coming out of both of these teams. I don't know much about any of these players. I don't frequently play with any of them.
Yeah.
But I do know that based on rank alone, like you said, Bentley has got the upper hand here.
Yeah, they definitely have the edge there.
So I want to see how they're going to start off with this because I have no idea what Worcester's going to pick, but we saw Bentley hover the Caitlyn, if I recall.
I'm interested in seeing their picks because it's kind of going to set the tone.
Yeah. Oh, I got to do this just in case. Always got to record that in case. So here comes the first pick. Is it a Scion? That honestly isn't too surprising to me. What do you think?
It's a fairly decent top laner. He's always been really good into aggressive matchups because he can just shove lane or stand or tower and just clear waves easily.
Yeah.
It's a pretty solid pick coming out of the Worcester top laner.
He's pretty safe just in general, right? Sion's always going to be a factor no matter what.
And the Silas pick coming in for Bentley there.
Okay, so...
It's hovered on the jungler, but I doubt
no
we'll
way.
see it in the jungle.
Yeah. They got the Caitlyn Silas now. That's an early Silas pick. I feel like a lot of the strength from Silas comes from seeing the enemy champions, right?
Yeah.
Like... I'm not too sure what to expect out of Worcester here, but it's funny, right? You don't want to pick high impact ultimate champions against the Silas, but then again,
at some point you have to
have something exactly. But the Lucian and Lux are locked in over from Worcester State,
and I cannot tell if that is a Lux support or a Lux mid.
I mean, it is a Lucian, and the Braum is not banned.
That is true.
So Braum is a huge power pick.
I would have actually preferred the Braum pick there over the Lux pick. For sure.
Yeah. Especially, well, actually, that could just be a mid. You're right. That could just be a straight support, right? Because there's no real reason to pick up a Lux here.
Yeah.
Unless you're afraid of someone banning it at this point. So it's definitely possible. What's up?
The Sejuani pick came out too.
Yeah, and she's so strong. And look, we do see the Braum ban. Yeah. So that is definitely something that could potentially be trouble for Worcester, but. I want to see where the Lux goes because without seeing anything about the mid laner or the potential top laner for that matter, right? We don't know where Silas is going. What is Lux into potentially? Yeah.
I think the matchup with Lux and Silas comes down to more of a skill matchup.
Yeah.
Because his trading, he can be abused because he's melee, but his trading is just so good that if Lux picks any fights, she's just gonna lose.
But that's kind of the strength of Lux, though, right? Is the long-range poke.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and a Janna! Dude.
Janna coming out. That is a strong disengaged team right there.
Yeah. It's funny, right? When Janna was part of the meta, I hated it.
Yeah.
Because Janna was anti-fun. She's like Soraka, right? She's not fun to play against at all.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm kind of excited to see Janna because I haven't seen her in so long now at this point. But
I think the meta changes are just shining right back through when we see a tank jungle, crit ADC, and an enchanter support. It's just bringing me back to season 5 where just ADCs wore the power players. And
especially with the new item changes, right?
For sure, yeah. I think it just makes the game better overall.
I mean, and it's a Thresh, so it is going to be a Lux mid lane. And it does look like Silas is going to be going mid lane if that Maokai is locked in. Dude, I've been talking about Maokai for weeks now. Every single tournament we have, I've been talking about Maokai because when this kind of stuff happens, the tanks come back into play. Maokai is always a solid pick. And it looks like it's just going to time out and go straight in.
Yeah. Maokai's definitely a decent pick.
Yeah, so there it is. The Maokai does get locked in.
Especially in tank matchups where no one can kill anyone. He just out-heals.
Yep. And he has pretty good lockdown as well, right?
Yeah,
he's... Again, like you said with this disengaged team, right? You have a Maokai ultimate now, right?
But you just can't engage.
Yeah, there's nothing the enemy team can do. There is a Nunu now, but even still, you get the CC or the knockup from the Janna, the roots from the Maokai. You're going to be hard-pressed to find anyone at that point.
Overall, I do give draft to Bentley here. Especially, obviously Worcester came in with 5 bans down, so you expect them to lose draft at some point, but...
Yeah.
There is a huge gap in between these compositions for me. If Worcester's lanes don't go well, they don't really have the scaling to bring us to late game, while Bentley do definitely have scaling on Silas and Kate.
But, looking at it, right, if we talk about the high-impact ultimates, not very many options here, is there?
That's true.
So, maybe they're just playing into their hands. Who knows?
Maybe they're like, let's pick bad champions.
So and we'll win.
And
because
win.
Silas is a thing. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know what to expect from the Xylos pick. We've seen him a couple times in LCS and professional play,
for sure.
and he's come in really clutch. Like, with Licorice on that champion is insane. But honestly, I feel like there's not much he can do here. I mean, Scion Ultimate is big impact, but aside from that, most of it's just, standard stuff.
For ult stealing, I agree, but I think Silas is just a really strong overall pick, even without high impact ults being stolen. I know it personally because I play a lot of Silas.
Yeah.
I have like 80 games on him this season.
Jeez.
He's my most played, so.
Okay. But you play him in the jungle, right?
I do play him in the jungle.
Okay.
Yeah. I play him wherever I get him pretty much, but mostly jungle because I'm a jungle main. But at a certain point in the game, he's more like an Echo that can just dive in really deep. And if he has those ults, like Echo ults or anything else that'll let him get out, he's really high impact there. He'll definitely be able to burst down the Lucian or the Lux. However, that Scion and Thresh peel is actually really huge.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at it, right? This looks like a team comp from Season 5, right? You get a Scion top, a Maokai top, Nunu not so much, but, a tank jungler,
yeah, for sure.
Against a Sejuani jungler, mage in the mid lane. This looks like a standard comp from an older past season, right? So with those 80 carry changes, we can kind of see that happening in pick fan phase right here with just how everything worked out.
I would have liked to see a scaling ADC on Worcester's side. Lucian pick, I understand for laning, but against the Caitlyn matchup and the Janna, she's not going to get much poke out, for sure. Yeah, I was interrupted by the chat.
Yeah. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, like you said, when was Lucian picked? Was Lucian picked earlier before the Janna?
I'm pretty sure it was just an order, straight down the line.
All right, here we go. Look at this wondrous timeout. I have a bot.
I do agree that Lucian's very strong, but most of his strengths comes from being a lane bully and just being able to out-poke the enemy ADC.
Yeah.
And with Caitlyn and Janna, she can just set up those traps and play far back. And if Lucian does get in, he's going to be in a minion wave while Caitlyn's being shielded by Janna, and there's just no winning that fight at that point.
Yeah, especially when you have to win lane, right?
Yeah.
Like against a Caitlyn Janna, you're going to have a hard time winning lane,
sure.
though. When you're Lucian, you need to have that pressure, and this is looking pretty rough at this point, just from the champion select alone.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, top lane's never going to die either way, You have the two most standard junglers right now in the current meta with Nunu and Sejuani, and then mid lane's pretty much where the action's going to have to be, right? Because I don't think there's going to be any kills bot lane unless it's on the side of Bentley.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Finally jumping into the loading screen.
And then I'm going to swap to this bad boy and turn off the music.
What was that?
I turned down the game.
Is it muted right now?
No, it's not muted. They can hear us. No, that actually is not muted. Don't ask me why it does that. I have no clue. But anyways, let's just make sure this is working. And we're into the game. Cool. All right.
All right.
Cool. Actually, let me verify this really quickly. That would be really awkward. All right, cool. All right.
Just us speaking with no sound.
I know. Well, I was just making sure it wasn't like the webcam mic.
Oh yeah.
So we're getting set up into this first game, and looks like Bentley's going for a potential rush
stack
game.
here.
Yeah.
I think they're expecting the invade from Worcester.
I mean, they do have a decent, with Lux, Thresh, Scion.
For
They
sure,
have a lot there, right?
But it looks like we're just seeing a standard start for blue side.
Yeah, they don't want to try anything funky here. Make sure I got... Oh, this is what I needed to do. Right school is Bentley. Left school is Worcester. Alright, we do see a little bit of action.
You see the Scion Q coming in. That's a good amount of poke on the Maokai.
Yeah, Maokai takes a lot of damage there.
It's late enough in the game that if he backs, he's going to have to TP back to lane.
He is a Maokai, though, so he can sustain in lane.
That's true.
I'm not super worried about that yet, but still a lot of damage early on. We'll have to see how that's going to play out.
Really? standard start here. Not much action going on except for the Maokai overstepping that bush there.
Yeah, but yeah, just like you said, standard starts here. It's going to be a matchup. Both junglers are starting on the bottom side of the map. Expect some action top lane, even though they're both tanks. That's where the junglers will be sub, 3 minutes, 30 seconds about.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at that. Maokai's already nearly full health just from his sustain on his passive. Silas does get to going on to Ivy.
That's just the trading power of Silas, honestly. The auto resets as well as the shield level 1 is just something you can't. Most champions can't take the fight with.
Yeah, and here we go, right? We see some trading in the bottom lane, but Lucian can't get in there. He's having some trouble just trying to poke with his piercing light, but it's still a Jan, a shield, and
red side is going to get this level 2 first as well, so not much they can do there as far as level 2 pressure. But,
Maokai does engage onto Sion, get a little bit of trading damage there. Not going to mean too much. Arcane, or not Arcane, but Airy there onto the Thresh. Just a little bit of swag.
Silas maybe stepping a little bit too far into minions there, getting
snared up in the minion wave. Lots of damage, though. He does have a Corrupting Pot, so he should be able to sustain up pretty well. Oh, more damage. Goes right on in. Nice binding again, but there's no E on Ivy left. Still, nice trade back to make that relatively even for the Silas there. Even though he did get bound up, he did dodge the E.
And it does look like we're going to see the action top, just the way this game's set up right now.
Yeah, both junglers are prepped on that top side, right? Both of their buffs are just about finishing up.
Mid ganks are really difficult against both these teams because Lux can always just bind and slow, and Silas has the E as well as a flash this early on.
So Sejuani is roaming top while Nunu is going to his wolves here. And Sion is pushing into the Maokai, so this could be setting up for a gank here.
This could be big. We see her going to the blue side bush here. Sion overstepping for that
here
CS
comes
Maokai.
Sejuani. She's going in. Nice twisted advance onto the Sion. Nice snare from the Sejuani. That is so much CC. Preemptive Q, but that's a first blood for Sejuani.
And in those tank matchups, it's pretty much whoever gets first item starts winning most of the trades.
Yep.
And top priority is big, especially with 2 TPs on the map, because first person who can realistically TP into a fight is probably the team that's going to win that fight.
Yep. So Sion did use the TP to get back to lane, pretty standard stuff, but with that kill on the Maokai, and he's actually got those mini dematerializers as well, so he can prep this wave however he wants it. He does go in with the big minion wave there, trading, but he does not have much mana at this point, just doing what he can. Nunu tries to go in, but the snowball hits some minions.
Ooh, hook going out.
Wow, nice flash from the Caitlyn there, getting out of that, but that is a summoner bone for the AD carry, meaning an easy return game for the Nunu.
I don't know if I would have blown flash there as a Caitlyn. I don't think the hook was necessarily going to hit her.
Well, either way, it's all a mind game, isn't it? Maokai now engaging on the sign with no mana, but Sejuani is here again. Flash is up. He does have it. The Q does hit. The slow, the stun.
That might
he
be
does
too
not have
greedy
this.
to save it.
Doesn't use the flash. He didn't even have to. Swag walks away, but still, he's gonna miss what 2 waves of minions here because of that. If Sejuani stays. But now Silas goes in onto Ivy. Does have the shield there, but he still goes in. Nice binding. Gets a lot of trade back damage, and I would say Lux definitely won that trade.
Lux is playing this lane really well. As long as she keeps the wave, prioritizing her, that she has the most minions. Silas can't really dash into those minions.
Yep.
We do see Sejuani hovering on the mid lane here.
Yeah, I feel like, well, looking at the minions, right at this point, they're all pretty even aside from top lane, and that's where Bentley got their early kill. So I feel like Ivy's playing this really well, but at the same time, right now, Silas is still farming up. The jungler hasn't ganked except for bot lane once, and it didn't turn out too hot for him.
I don't think bot is the lane you focus this game.
No.
It's more of a dead lane.
I feel like you have to be mid, right?
You have to be mid.
Yeah.
You need your carry to get ahead so that she can carry you through the mid game.
Yep. But that is good for them. They have the wave pushing into them. But now bot lane is getting a little strange with the minions are set up here. Lucian's kind of struggling to farm with how Caitlyn and Janet continually poke.
And we do see Sejuani heading down to the bot side. She's on Gromp right now. She could go for a gank. She does have flash up.
Nunu is backing as well, so this could be the prime time to go for a gank. But still, level 6 just now coming out for the mid laners and the top laners just about. Still trading very efficiently from this mid lane. Scion is not yet level 6, while Maokai is, but even still, there's not enough damage there to do anything to a Scion as of yet. But the binding does finally miss, but still. Taking a calm, cool, and collected game after that first blood up in the top lane. Maokai actually got a deep sapling there to kind of scout out the enemy jungler from Worcester. That's really nice for him. But Silas did end up taking Lux ultimate. Yeah, look at that. Nothing. There's nothing
No action
happening.
on the top lane.
Yeah.
Pretty standard ult steal by Silas, too. He's probably just going to ult the wave before he backs.
Yeah.
Both
Just kind of
mid
reset it.
Both mid laners desperately need a back right here.
But both junglers are coming to the mid lane now. Nice trading from the Maokai, though. Lots of damage. Maokai still does have really nice base damage, which a lot of people seem to forget about.
Yeah.
Even when you are in a tank against a Scion or against a Maokai like that.
Going in here, this could be a kill for the Maokai.
He does get the Twisted Advance, does get the Arcane or Bramble Smash rather, but still, Sion's gonna walk out. Sejuani misses the Q. Snowball's coming right back in, takes a tower shot. Sejuani does have flash if he needs it. The Snowball's gonna land flash forced out, but Silas is going in.
Going deep.
He has the flash, the Ignite goes down, but that tower shot's gonna mean Ivy's gonna pick up the kill onto Silas, and the binding again landing onto Sejuani, just barely forcing the flash out, but that's a double kill for the Lux now, and that is a huge influx of gold going straight over to that mid laner.
That was a huge misplay by Sejuani there. You definitely do go for that play, but once you miss the Q, it's damage control at that point. You get out and you die as little as possible.
Yep.
The thing that killed that play for them was Silas overcommitting and taking that tower shot.
Exactly. That tower shot was what kind of put the nail in the coffin, right? As soon as Silas goes down, you know, as soon as really Sejuani missed that Q, they should have backed out, but they decided to go a little bit too far in, and they just did not have the damage to finish. And more of a wet noodle fight in the top lane. Nothing pretty.
Sion actually coming out ahead in that one.
So he did ult back to lane too, so that is worth noting at least. All of the ultimates are now available with the exception of Thresh Box, but it looks like pretty standard. Nice root again from this
Good damage
Ivy.
coming out on the Lux.
Wow. Those
We
bindings
see
are on
Nunu
point.
going for a gank here.
Forcing the flash
Following
out of
with the flash,
Silas.
and there's the Nunu ult.
But he's got a lot of damage on that ultimate. Yeah, that Silas is dead. That's 3 kills for
That's
Lux now.
huge.
But now gank ultimate onto Sion. He does not have flash. He is going to go down, and he's going to use that last bit of a passive to try and chase down what little damage he can. But he doesn't have TP, doesn't have flash. He is not having a good time in this lane.
I really like what Worcester State's doing, getting this Lux ahead in a really volatile matchup. Whichever mid laner gets ahead is just going to affect the entire map during early and mid game. And pretty standard return kill in the top lane. If you see something happening somewhere else and you know where they are, you just go on the other side of the map and try to repeat.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? What we talked about in Champs, like, whoa, nice flash teleport coming in from Maokai with the ultimate, gonna snare up both of the bot laners. Healed flash forced out, and it
Really
looks
good hook by
like
the
they're
Thresh
both
to interrupt
gonna
that.
live. No, Thresh is gonna go down.
What
But
an insane play from
Holy
Thresh to keep that
cow.
Caitlyn alive there.
man,
Definitely should have been a 2-0.
yeah, that was insane Thresh play to keep Lucian alive. But still, they used the TP. Sion has a little bit of time to farm up in the top lane, trying to get something back. But this is turret plating over for the bot lane now on the side of Bentley.
These early items are really like more impactful than they were in previous iterations of ADC, because crit items are just they just multiply damage on top of each other. Crit ADCs tend to hit their peak at 2 to 3 items, while Lucian and other champions, they have the edge over in the early game because Bork is a really big peak in the game, but it's going to be really hard to abuse that that lead, especially into this Caitlyn Janna lane, if Caitlyn's ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for them just because how they work out, right? How those champions seem to work together, you know, in the bot lane, Lucian versus Caitlyn. Not even thinking about the supports, just Caitlyn gets her, eye edge first, and then Lucian gets the Bork. I feel like Caitlyn wins that, right?
Especially with the Janna shield up.
Yeah.
And it looks like, I can't tell if she's going for Redemption or, what is the attack
Ardent?
speed? Yeah,
Ardent
Ardent Sensor. Because they do both build from that item, but I feel like an early Ardent would do wonders for this comp right now.
Yeah, and here we go. We do get the hook onto Caitlyn, but Sejuani is there. The Arctic Charge is landed.
TP coming in from Sion.
Doesn't get
Gets
through.
canceled by Maokai.
Wow, that's huge! Lucian decides to go in because of the TP, but the TP is canceled from the Twisted Advantage from the Maokai. Beautifully done for Bentley there, keeping that top laner away, but in the mid lane now, trading back and forth. As well as the top lane, wow, Sion is taking a lot of damage against this Maokai.
Maokai did get that first item, and now he's just going to be dictating the fights on the top lane now.
Yeah, this is still a dragon that they can most likely take for free. It is against a Nunu, but I don't know how much you want to go in on that first Ocean Drake.
Maokai playing really aggressive in this top lane.
Yeah, he is.
He knows his lead, and he's going to use it.
And like that, Bentley take the first Drake of this match. It's an Ocean Drake. Gonna be able to regen up. Look at that regen on Sejuani just from the Ocean Drake. That's insane. But, I mean, before that whole bit happened, I was talking about Worcester, you know, forcing, you know, the mid lane action.
Yeah.
And we talked about that in Champ Select. But, I mean, Bentley's making stuff happen elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, I was going to say good job on Worcester for focusing mid lane, but really good job on Bentley for making things happen everywhere else.
Yeah, for sure. Bentley's definitely playing their game correctly here. Getting that top ahead was actually really big for the state of the game. As we saw, that Maokai could freely TP into the bot lane, and when Sion tried under his tower, Maokai was able to stop the TP by diving. And just at that point, you just lose the fight because you don't have your top laner in the fight.
Yeah. And now Maokai's going to get this tower damage
Could go for an aggressive play, dodge the Sion Q.
Sion taking a lot of damage. He does have the passive, but that no longer does damage. He's still alive. Maokai taking a lot of damage. Wow. Sion on a knife's edge right there, just barely lives. Thresh just roaming up to take that pink ward out, but man, that was really close.
Maybe a misplay there for the Maokai. He actually burned his ult there. If Worcester State capitalizes on the no Maokai ult, they could definitely very well get a kill.
Ooh, nice Q to stop Sejuani's already charged, but that's an ultimate out. Thresh does not have a flash or anything to get out of this.
To the blast cone.
He's got it.
He's get to the blast cone. Lucian
Janna doing so much.
Janna, that healing is insane.
90 caliber net's gonna back Caitlyn out of there, but nothing happening in the bot lane as of now. Thresh got out of there because of that nicely timed bomb plant. Lucky guy. And with Sejuani posturing bot lane and Sylas as well, this looks like they're trying to force this bot lane tower. Yeah, and that tower's pretty much gone.
Going straight down, especially with Sejuani's demolished. It's just over. We do see Nunu here.
The snowball coming in. He's going to throw it out. Oh, he gets a lot of damage, but
Lucian taken very low. We do see Lux roaming from mid here.
Now, so much
damage. They don't know Lux is here. They are going to back off, right into the trap.
Yeah, and there it is. The trap's going to stop any more engage from happening, but still 4 members bot lane from Worcester means Sylas has free time in the mid lane now.
Of course.
Going to get some more gold in his pocket, but they're really committing to defending this tower. They don't want first tower to go down, and with the turret plating falling, it's going to be that much easier.
I don't know if I agree with that play of sending everyone bot. I think at that point you play damage control and try to have something happen in the other lanes.
Yeah, I mean you already had mid lane, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to try and
mid was
that.
open. I think you just send the jungler in mid lane mid and kills the Sylas.
Yeah, and this tower's gone. Sejuani's spending so much time here.
They are living on borrowed time here. Nunu walking up for the W. We do see the reset Lucian help.
Snowball hits.
Big snowball into the Janna.
Nice slow. He's going to get all those stuns. Absolute zero coming out. That does a lot of damage. Level 1. Fully charged. And Caitlyn's going to fall to the Lucian now. 2 kills come out for Lucian.
Once again, a really good hook for the Thresh.
Yeah, that was really well done by Worcester State. They bought their time. We thought they were wasting their time, but they end up getting 2 kills for it and keeping that tower alive. Oh, wait, never mind. The tower went down to minions. But anyways.
I didn't even know that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Sylas roaming on top side here. There's definitely nothing they can do against that Sion under tower.
Honestly, this game's pretty close. Compared to what we had last match, this match is within 500 gold of each other at 15 minutes. This is really close match with different advantages in different lanes, but with the 2 kills Lucian just picked up, honestly, he's in a good spot to get his Bork and be all set after he pushes that wave in.
For sure, I think this game's as close as it could be with the comps that were picked for each team. Both teams definitely know their strengths, and they're playing around them fairly well. A couple misplays from Worcester in the bot lane, but not much to be said about that, especially after they turn that around. And we're just going to see how these early team fights go, because that's going to dictate the rest of the game.
Yeah, and we do see Worcester coming back out. Lucian does have his Bork. It looks like he's going for a Black Cleaver next of sorts, potentially. But Caitlyn does have that Eye Edge as well as that Shard finished up as well, so going to get to see where that goes. As it looks like the bot lane's roaming up, potentially. I don't know.
You see them clearing out the vision.
Yep.
Dragon coming up in 20 seconds. That looks like they're setting up for it. It's going to be...
We don't know yet.
Don't know what it's going to be.
I'll tell you in a sec. Oh, man, never mind, I won't.
Eventually we'll see what the Dragon's going to be.
Yeah. But we do see pretty much standard lanes going back, right? Sion is going mid lane to kind of hold that.
Infernal Drake spawning up.
So Worcester's in a good spot here, but Bentley is collapsing on it. They have 4 members going, as well as the Silas from the mid lane, Sejuani coming out.
They are in a really bad spot here. They just got to get out of there.
Yep.
Both top laners with TP up definitely puts the advantage in Bentley's hands, just with how far ahead Maokai is.
Yep.
Sion not even finishing a first item yet.
They're going to start this up. This is risky. They don't have... Yeah, they have the Nunu consume here, but still...
Just brute forcing it. I actually do
they
like
have
this
more
play
members.
from Worcester, but
the TP comes out from Maokai,
They
though.
turn off the Dragon.
Here comes the ultimate out, going to chase them down. Lots of damage going down on Nunu. Absolute Zero is going to give a
Big
shield,
Nunu.
but he's going to slow them down. Lots
And
of
the Lucian
CC.
damage.
That is impressive. Look at that. So far,
Maokai
it looks
just
like a
tearing apart the
2-3
back
for
line.
1.
Lucian
Tearing
getting
apart
a ton of damage off on the Maokai here.
Maokai
Dragon
taking
goes
so
down
much.
to red team.
Sion going to get a big Q in, but Lucian has that red buff. He's got that regen. That knockup
When
huge.
he finally goes down, the knockup from Silas on his E there.
That is huge.
That was just, honestly, I think it was a big misplay on Worcester's part to not finish the Infernal.
That was so close. If Worcester had just, either backed off and baited that dragon instead of taking that damage early on, like, that fight was so incredibly close to having Lucian just pop off, right? Mm-hmm. There were 3 members of the enemy team that had quarter of a health left at that point. So that was just nice cleanup from Bentley at that point.
Honestly, what I've seen from playing competitively on a college team before, that just goes down to not having a clear shot caller. There was probably... They didn't make a clear decision because half the team was on drag and half the team wanted to fight. I think if they do either of those things, they potentially come out ahead there. Lucian put out a ton of damage with his Bork there. It was just insane.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage from Lucian coming out there. That he pretty much single-handedly did all the damage in the team, right? Because Lux did a lot, but still, regardless, they did end up going down there. And like that, the gold swing goes 4,000 in Bentley's favor, roughly.
Yeah, from 500 to 4,000.
Yeah.
We see a Thresh hook here, bro.
It's a Thresh versus a Janda. Support of wars. Supportal combat. It's just how it is. Now, Lucian is bot lane against the Silas. Just kind of trying to farm up, do what he can. Lux still has 3 kills, but as far as farm is concerned, kind of Silas is doing a very good job of keeping up. But
Silas does have the bounty.
Yeah, they're going for a potential engage
diving
here.
onto the Lux.
Yeah, ultimate goes down. He's going to get the snares on multiple members.
Janna goes down.
Dies to Sion. Lux ult comes out, does just snipe a little bit of Sejuani here. Absolute Zero is going to slow down. Not going to be enough.
Maokai going really low.
Forcing the flash out of Sejuani. Now this is really, really tight here. So many low members on both sides here. Who's going to be able to do this? They're forcing the Rift Herald here. Is he going to reset?
Nunu
has consumed, but he resets. The Rift Herald resets. That is the most tilting thing I've ever seen.
Silas pushing out the ball lane.
Oh, man. This is not good for Worcester right now. They need to make a decision here. At this point,
full damage control.
Baron's up.
Spawning.
Yeah, that's all they want to do is stop Rift Herald from going down to the enemy team. But Silas gets, I think, another tower for that. While no one got, I think one member on
they did get
Bentley goes down. Yeah, so Johnny goes down, but that stops the Rift Herald, and that gets a free tower for Bentley. So really nicely done from Bentley, just kind of like playing back on that, not overcommitting, not undercommitting. Really good job, just kind of playing on that knife's edge there. And look, another tower.
Trading that Janna for the 2 towers there is just puts their gold ahead by 5k instead of 4k at this point. And we do see Bentley's 4 towers to Worcester's 0 at this point in the game, and that's just a huge disadvantage, especially for a team that relies so heavily on their early game because their scaling isn't that great.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm worried about looking at this comp, right? Maokai, Sejuani, Caitlyn, Silas. The longer this game goes, Caitlyn's going to be a monster. Maokai's going to be a monster. Sejuani, late game Sejuani, not fun to play against.
Yeah.
Then you look at Lucian, who's more so like an early to mid game AD carry. He can still do the damage late game, but in a comp with Maokai in the other team that can just W you, you're going to be in trouble.
And especially with the Caitlyn here. Caitlyn is big right now. She's 5-1. on her second item, looking for her third. Once she hits third, that's a really big spike. And at that point, we don't really have anyone from Worcester who can get onto the Caitlyn and stay on the Caitlyn.
Yep.
They do have Sion and Nunu who can dive pretty deep, but they don't have the damage to kill Caitlyn, especially with a Janna and a Maokai and a Sejuani potentially defending her from pretty much everything.
Yep. That's unfortunately how this looks for Worcester at this point. They're clearing the waves just fine. They have a lot of wave clear with the Lux, the Sion Q, unfortunately, but Bentley right now just kind of warding up Worcester's jungle at this point and trying to strangle them out of this game.
And another dragon coming up in 30 seconds. That's going to be the next objective for these teams here.
Yeah.
Thresh has to be careful where he's walking. He's just going to get caught out.
He knows something. So he knows the enemy team has this entire jungle set up. He does throw out the pink ward. It does verify Sejuani was trying to do some funny business.
Going to respect the hook there.
Does not land the
Silas
hook.
over the wall.
Does get a little bit of damage, but still, I don't know if you want to go for this. This is very risky. Caitlyn might not be here, but that dragon is being started up, it looks like, by Bentley. Sejuani's over the wall. Yeah, they're going to take that dragon, rather, and that's another free Drake over to Bentley here.
And it is a second Infernal. That's huge for a scaling comp.
Yeah, is Nunu going to go for it? He goes for it, but does not get it.
Does not get the smite out.
Yeah, he flashes over the wall, tries to get it. Sejuani ultimate comes out. The box dropped by Thresh to try and keep himself alive. Hex Tech, and that is a snipe from Caitlyn. 7 kill Caitlyn, 200 farm. She is a monster right now with that rapid fire IE. And now Bentley positioned for the Baron.
Looking towards Baron here, they are going to get spotted out on that ward, but how much does that really matter when Worcester State's just so far behind?
At this point, Nunu's down, Thresh is down. It's 3 versus 5 if they even want to try something here, and it's just too risky for Worcester to even go for it.
Bentley knows their strengths, and they're playing it very well. I give a lot of respect to them here. They put all their gold on Caitlyn. They got their tanks ahead so they wouldn't have any problems with the enemy tanks, and they're just playing their strengths really well. Controlling all these objectives. Even if you look on the map, the vision control is completely in favor of Bentley at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And with that, that is going to mark an 8,000 gold lead for Bentley. And this could be all she wrote. Just one final push, pick up some items. I mean, there are bounties on the side of Bentley, and Worcester can get some gold back like that. Yeah. But, I mean, with Baron up, with all the safety that they have the Janna, they have the Sejuani, they have the Maokai. Worcester's going to be hard-pressed to find anything.
And this does look like it will be the final push here. 7k gold lead at this point with Baron buff up. And with a Maokai Sejuani, you can realistically force fights wherever you want, even if they're under their tower. Not much disengage coming through on Worcester except for the Thresh and Nunu if he dies for the team, but...
Yeah, but look at that. Baron's just going to shove down the mid lane. Maokai is bot lane. He does have TP available, as does the Sion, but Maokai looks like he's trying to get a cheeky flank here, but most of that jungle is warded up by Worcester, so I wouldn't be too surprised if they back off this tower. It is very dangerous to try and hold this.
Worcester knows what they have to do. They can't clear these waves forever. They have to look for a pick. Thresh positioning for a hook, but Bentley has that warded out as well.
Yeah, Bentley is doing very well keeping, their lead in this game. They're being very meticulous with everything that they do. And Silas tries to get some poke damage. Whirlwind does land onto Sion, but nice Sejuani ultimate does go onto Lux, and that's exactly who you want to hit. Gianna ult going through, getting some healing. Nunu's Absolute Zero is going to do what he can.
Silas picks up the Lucian kill with the Lucian steal ult.
Yeah, this is pretty much all she wrote at this point. Sion, the one massive tank, the last man standing, and that's going to be the ace for Bentley as they push in this middle inhibitor tower.
And here they're definitely looking to close out the game.
Yeah, that has to be game. There's no one else up for, 15 seconds?
Yeah, and Bentley does have the wave right behind them.
Surely
is game. Surely is game.
So, very well done from both teams. Worcester State versus Bentley. It looks like Bentley are going to clear this game out in 25 minutes in their first match, and they're going to move on to game 2. Wow, they're just padding the scores now. Thresh got a Silas kill, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to take a quick 5-10 minute break, and we'll be right back with game 2.